2, 1, 0.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it is me, XFL Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the XFL.
Of course, we are joined by none other than the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Eric, Etoff 21 Sports, a.k.a. Uncle fucking Rico.
Whoa.
What's up, man?
Nothing, dude. It's been a while. How you been, man?
It's been a minute. We didn't go last week. It was a hectic week for us. There's absolutely nothing that's gone on this week. No news whatsoever.
Nothing new. No news at all. Just a normal day.
The reason I played The Rock right there is because I think since Jump, I haven't liked The Rock as an owner. Even back in like the 2023 XFL days, I don't think I've enjoyed The Rock being like any part of the league.
Is he really like? How can I word that?
You put money into it,
but he's not really like the focal point. You know what I mean? Like he's not out and like when we need to remember when the XFL first started. What was the first picture? It was The Rock on the field at the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Now, allegedly, there was that deal with the Army where he
that was the UFL last year.
Okay. Like he had to do like so many tweets or something or some shit. Didn't do it. A huge sponsorship in the Army fell through. He goes on the McAfee show, doesn't mention it at all. It's just he is not doing anything which he could be doing. Now, you and I have bitched about the marketing and bitched about
for years.
And it's just extremely half-assed. Now, when this news hit, I was just kind of like, oh shit, this sucks. And then today when I was yelling at kids in the heat, coaching, part of me wondered, was this kind of like the plan all along?
The heat kind of put your head in perspective.
You know what I mean? Was this kind of like the plan, kind of like all along, like kind of like get rid of the USFL teams, get the merger, get rid of the USFL teams, and then kind of start planting XFL teams anywhere other places? Was this kind of like the plan?
So there's two options in my mind. Either it wasn't the plan and you're dumb and this is chaotic and bad, or it was a plan and I don't think it's a very good plan and you're dumb. Because one of those markets, at the very least, in Birmingham, the news Eric is talking about, for people who don't know, which I don't, if you're watching the show, I assume you know, is James Larson, reporter over at Pro Football Newsroom, talked about the UFL axing 4 markets and changing them to new locations. Those markets being Birmingham Stallions, Michigan Panthers, Memphis Showboats, and Houston Roughnecks. Birmingham, though, if you look at like all of the stats, yes, the crowds weren't there. They were like the number 2 or number 1 TV market every season.
And I mean, the thing is like they scheduled it. When I was looking online and everything was scheduled early on Sunday. Where I'm not the religious type at all. I know that really shocks you, Jim, but it's early Sunday. People are religious down there. They're going to church. They scheduled one that went head to head with Talladega.
And Mother's Day.
And no wonder why people weren't there.
Eric, for Birmingham and Memphis in particular, I do have in my notes. If you are going, because you and me both are on they should go earlier in the season. They should go earlier in the year. They should start earlier. If you are going to be going this late in the season, this late, you're going into summer at this point.
Yeah. These
markets, Memphis, Birmingham, Houston, these markets that are in absolute just heat zones. Yeah. You gotta be playing at night at the very least. Zero night games. Zero. At least for Memphis, zero.
But I mean, and then so look, when you look at the attendance figures and everything, it's not like Arlington was really drawn. You know what I mean? Like,
San Antonio was decent for like what, 1 week?
And even St. Louis this year had an issue drawing people there. So obviously there's a big underlining issue here. Now, some people are saying online, like bringing in the new team is going to like you get that new team bump, new mascot, new merchandise, shit like that. But where are they going to play in Boise? You know, like now this is what I read. Okay, now hear me out. I could be completely off. You know, when I enjoyed my hour and my 30 minutes in the AC today, I was going through Twitter. Where are they going to play in Boise? Are they going to play where Boise State plays? Because I read that they didn't want to play at Eastern Michigan because of the color of the field.
Was that the reason for Eastern Michigan?
Like that's like, I don't know. It's like some dude with like 100 followers tweeted that. But if that's true, like why are they going to play at Boise State with the blue? Like
my thing with a place like Boise is if even like maybe Louisville or extent, but Boise for sure, if you're not drawing in a smaller market like a Birmingham, which is supposed to be like, it's a small market, it's got people that are hungry for football, what makes you think you're going to draw in Boise? Even if they do play on the blue turf, if they play at Boise Stadium, what makes you think you're going to draw in Boise?
Like Kentucky. Like, what is Kentucky known for, dude?
Basketball?
Horse racing.
Oh, horse racing, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are people really going to go in there in Kentucky? Like, where in Kentucky is it going to be?
So I have, Eric, let me go through my notes real quick because I have new cities, but I have 4 cities. So if we're going to talk new cities, the ones that are rumored are Boise, Idaho, Columbus, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, and Louisville. And then somewhere in Florida, you would assume either Tampa or Orlando.
Now, someone tweeted out that Tampa really didn't draw that well when they were in the XFL.
No, they were probably like in 2020. It's hard to say. Like they were probably the least. It was them in New York were pretty rough. And Orlando didn't draw very well in 2023. That I can assure you they did not.
So it's just like, look, man, like I feel that Houston, okay. Memphis, okay. Detroit, I felt Detroit was doing a great job for how big the fucking stadium was and the hurdles. Like you have the Tigers, you had the Pistons in the playoffs, and that's what they were competing with, and they were doing a good job getting asses in the seat.
So it sounds like for Detroit in particular, it was the fact that Ford Field was hard to work with and also wildly expensive. If that number, if it's like the $500,000 per game is true, that is crazy.
But you knew what you're getting into there, and we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember at the beginning, we talked about, you know, there's a soccer field there they could have gone to near downtown Detroit. They could have gone to up to Ypsilanti. You know, there's a lot of options there in Detroit. Why did you pick Ford?
I know they're building a new soccer stadium too, right?
Yeah,
my question is, if this is all happening, this is the if it is happening. Nothing's like quote unquote confirmed yet. If you're gonna take a team like the Michigan Panthers that showed this year with the right kind of people in place that they can draw people in, get people coming, why wouldn't you just try and relocate them somewhere else near Detroit?
It makes zero sense. And I mean, I think it was your boy Scooty Wright. Is it Scooter Wright or whatever?
Scooty Wright, maybe. You talking about the player?
Yeah. Like he had a tweet and he said, this is why this league isn't going to succeed, basically. By doing this, it's making hard, and I've mentioned this before, it's making hard for fans to connect to players.
So I will say this. When it was like XFL and USFL, one thing the USFL did do really well is it did have a hub system, which kind of sucked for those games. But it did have the fact that, like, for those teams, for Birmingham, for Michigan in the USFL, they had those teams in those markets They had players there. That is such an important thing. The UFL, as much as I loved it last year, as much as I loved it this year, not having players even like being able to be in markets is tough. It makes the marketing so much harder.
It's almost like with how they're doing it, like having a quote unquote home base. And if you want to do that, it's fine. If you feel this is what you need to do to succeed, that's fine. But just have your teams like all like Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, like all like kind of centralized right there. So that way there can be appearances and people can connect with people. Like for the stuff in Memphis made in like insanely hard to connect. So
I have a couple notes, just some little things I wrote down for why they're giving the reasoning for why they are relocating these teams. I want to see if you agree with some of these or what you think of them. For Birmingham, they said Protective Stadium was tough to deal with, not a great venue, and the fact that like the UFL wasn't doing much in the market to like promote it, and they were just expecting fans to show up, but they did not.
But right there, that last sentence kind of tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
They're expecting fans to show up, and they didn't.
So Birmingham is such a tough case because everyone talks about them because obviously they have the culture of winning, 3 championships, blah, 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 blah. If I am a fan of the Birmingham Stallions, just hypothetically, if I'm a fan and I'm a fan from 2022 all the way up to 2025. You know what happened in 2024 when the UFL came? Their ticket price is almost quadrupled in price.
Yeah.
They were like the USFL was giving them cheap tickets, making it super affordable, making it so easy to go. Well, the UFL comes in, gets rid of that, doesn't give any bonuses for the season tickets. In fact, in a lot of things, Birmingham and St. Louis is a big one. You're gonna have to read the chat. I can't read any of these, Eric. I'm on my phone.
Dude, my glasses are fucking foggy as shit, dude. I can barely see anything.
But like, they're not giving like you go to these season ticket holders. In some weeks, single game tickets are cheaper than what season ticket holders pay.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane. For Michigan, I think it all came down to Ford Field. That's what it all was. It still seems lazy. Memphis, it's the guy from FedEx passing away was a big factor because he was like one of the biggest proponents of like potentially franchise. He was going to be big on that, and then I think also they didn't listen to like fans. They didn't listen to people. Eric, you can just go to the comments part. You don't have to read them on like the little screen.
Dude, dude, my glasses are so foggy.
No, you have a comments tab that like where the private chat is.
I see it. I got it.
There you go.
Like Jam Space, 3 championships didn't bring them out in Birmingham. It's like they still haven't learned from the USFL, XFL, AFFL, XFL2, the Spring League, USFL. Like it's.
And then Houston was just, I think Houston, they just fucked it up the second with the merger. They had, because Houston, if you remember in 2020 and 2023, was one of the top like draws in the XFL. They had good crowds. And then guess what? You ruined that with the merger, fumbling that so bad that you just, at this point, Eric, they probably should just come out the gate and not had XFL and USFL conferences.
Yeah.
And they should have just kept the original Roughnecks, and then you'd still have a team in Houston.
Yep. I mean, the whole thing is this. Like, and I've said this from the get-go, and I know you're going to hate me for saying this. For this to be successful, they need complete backing from the NFL.
I still disagree with that.
You do? Or disagree?
I disagree.
And I just feel that what they need, they're just not getting. And the thing is, this is like, if you have people there, if you put a fucking effort into it, there's a way to do this, okay? So
the thing for me is like, obviously going for these new markets, it feels desperate. It feels like a move of desperation. But
it's a total desperation.
I don't trust like the executives in the UFL to have learned anything from what they've done these last 2 years and not just fuck it up in Boise, Louisville, Florida, and Columbus.
So my thing is this, okay? When there's a will, there's a way, okay? Like I'm looking right now, MLB is going on right now, correct?
Correct.
So I am looking at MLB figures, okay, for attendance, okay?
Okay.
The worst team in MLB right now is who?
Like record-wise, like skill-wise?
Record-wise.
It's the Rockies, right?
It is the Rockies.
You're America's team.
America's team, okay? America's team is 15th in attendance. Average per game.
There you go.
So
There are ways to draw people in.
effort in. Now, look, I don't have a magic marker. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'm sure if you put me in there, I am going to be able to come up with a fucking idea to get asses in the fucking seat, dude. The Rockies are fucking awful, and they're outdrawing the Texas Rangers, St. Louis Cardinals, Seattle Mariners, Detroit Tigers, Cleveland Guardians, Cincinnati Reds, Royals, the White Sox, the Marlins, the Rays. You know what I mean? It's just
You make a game day environment fun. You can and like affordable. You can get people there.
yeah.
What's that?
Birmingham is at fault. Each of the league and the fan side, the USFL did the house league there for 2 years, and they arguably had the best spring ball team in the history of spring ball.
So people will say at this point, Eric, for me, I tweeted about this. I think personally, it would have been more entertaining to see at least one more season of both the XFL and USFL.
I think they realized something needed to be changed, and this is just a dramatic thing what they're changing. I think you and I can both agree something needed to be changed. In my eyes, and you agree too, there needs to be an earlier start date. Use the momentum from the NFL.
So if it were me, Eric, there are 3 things I would do.
Yeah.
And maybe hindsight, you can't do them now, but I would have done them before. Number 1, if you're going to merge, I would have just picked one of the names, XFL or USFL. I wouldn't have made a new name. I would have just kept one or the other, whichever one has the better branding.
Okay, I agree with that.
Number 2, now you establish you're your own thing. You're the XFL, you're the USFL, whatever. Let's just say XFL because of me. You split up the conferences evenly. You're not fucking up Houston. And then number 3, even if you're doing a hub model, send the players out. They have full-time insurance now. These players, a lot of these guys that aren't getting picked up by NFL rosters, send them in during the fall. Send them in during the winter to integrate with the community.
But then there's going to be incurred expenses with that. There's going to be housing, food, travel. You know what I mean? Like
you're already putting these guys up in Arlington. I don't know how long. I guess that's fair.
But I mean, you're only putting them up in Arlington for how long, though? You know what I mean?
That's just for training camp in the season.
But exactly. Like right now, they're with. Like hypothetically, if you and I played in this league, I'd be here in Chicago. You'd be in America's heartland. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
I would also extend the training camp. 1 month is crazy.
Yeah. I agree with that. I would. Well, I mean, The Rock burned his bridges with WWE, but whatever.
The Rock has turned everything he touches into shit.
Basically, yes. And how can I word this? But it goes back to what I said. They needed to make a change. And I feel like this is just a dramatic change.
Just for the sake of change?
What now?
Just for the sake of change?
I feel they needed to do something, and I feel someone goes, well, why don't we just get rid of this and do this? I think people
saw Memphis coming.
Let me ask you this. in the quote unquote hierarchy, what is the breakup for people that were with the USFL versus were with the XFL?
Like for the UFL?
In the hierarchy of the UFL.
I think it's a majority Redbird Capital still running the league. I know Fox is also a good stakeholder in it. Obviously, Moose Johnston of the USFL still a factor in the UFL. Danny Garcia is still a factor. I think it's like the guys over at Redbird Capital that are funding most of it that hold most of the strings.
Okay. Now, do you feel all this expansion talk, like, I mentioned, I think this has been in the works for a while. Do you feel like when the expansion talk started, this was kind of them saying, okay, it's going to be relocation, but they didn't let anyone know?
From what I've heard, it sounded like there was a potential for 2 teams to be relocated and 2 additional teams brought on.
The fact that I've been adamant they're not at the stage to add teams. I am adamant they're not at that stage yet. And to me, doing this just sums it up even more.
Yeah, I think it confirms it.
It means they're not ready for this shit at all.
I don't know how this is any cheaper.
Like, it's
because I'm assuming, obviously they're relocating. So, if you're staying on with the Houston Roughnecks, how are they going to fill these rosters?
That's another thing I didn't get. Does Birmingham become the Boise Potatoes? I don't.
And does Skip Holtz move to Idaho now for the season?
You know what I mean?
I guess they just moved to Arlington still, but
But you get what I'm saying. What's going to happen with everything? The whole thing to me.
Do we have a full league redraft?
Just doesn't make sense. And I feel that the fans and the players got shafted. And my biggest thing, and I told you this, I could not really get connected this year with all the college basketball shit I was doing. I could not get connected. I didn't feel in the realm of the old fucking
You felt it. I think the last time you felt it a little last year, but I feel like the last time you were really super in was 2023.
And that's when they started right after, right?
Yeah, you were invested in that year.
Right after, the momentum from the NFL went. And the way I am, as soon as the NFL ends, boom, I'm knee deep in college basketball. And once I get knee deep in college basketball, that's just where I am. And now that's just me personally.
I think the gap's bad too. You know me, I'm always for moving the season up. I think that's a big factor.
And I just remember the stuff that they did with The Rock. You know what I mean? When The Rock was there at the fucking Super Bowl, it felt like a big fucking deal. It felt like a big fucking deal.
For
when was the last time? And you're my boy. I fucking love you to death. When was the last time, or has there ever been a time that this has felt like a big fucking deal?
You talking about the UFL or the last time spring football has felt like a big deal for me?
No, the UFL.
The UFL, I think, when it was announced, felt like a big deal.
Okay.
And then it was a little bit of fumbling to get everything going for that first season. And the season itself felt like a big deal. And then this year, less so. If I'm going by spring football for me, obviously XFL 2020 felt like a big deal. And then I will say the USFL completing a season. That championship game in 2022 for the USFL, the Stars versus the Stallions, one of my favorite memories of all time.
All right, we got some comments here. No, Pudge Richardson, no reason there shouldn't be asses in the seat. Let's be real, Redbird and Fox could afford it. The jam space, it's not expansion. It's not expansion. Let's just save facility costs, but ultimately it's just a bad look. Pudge Richardson, I'm a St. Louis guy and was fully invested in years past because the Battlehawks were the only football team in town, and I embraced it. This year, I couldn't get into it at all, even missed a few games. I'll be honest. I completely agree.
Well,
I completely agree.
especially with St. Louis.
I'll be honest, Jim. Complete fucking transparency. If you weren't streaming games, I would not have been watching the product as much as I did.
That I believe 100%.
And I mean, I feel like someone like me who does the sports betting stuff, does the DFS stuff, this should be the person that they're trying to target. And
Even like, I kind of view you as like you're the casual viewer as well.
mm-hmm.
And they do very little to appeal to the casual, and then they also seemingly do very little to appeal to the hardcore. I don't know who they're appealing to. For me, all of this turmoil sums up to like the UFL higher ups. It's like, oh, we tried nothing and we failed and we're out of ideas. Now let's blow it up and try new markets.
Sometimes, though, people just feel that they're the smartest people in the room, and whatever they say, stuff is going to happen. It's just going to work.
Yeah, it feels that way.
And I kind of feel that's the way with this new regime. And I mean, you got to be honest, like,
who would want to work for this league in like marketing or anything at this point when it's a fully seasonal job and you're going to get let go at the end of the season?
And I mean, the thing is like you made a comment at the end about Birmingham's prices like tripling or whatever.
St. Louis too. St. Louis plays like actual ticket prices for their games, and they get no benefit for it.
At the end of the day, if you have a family, this should be an alternative where you could go with your family for less money. Okay? This should be an alternative, but it turned out not, and they jacked the prices up, and because they jacked the prices up, ticket price, like it fucking suffered, and they just couldn't get the people in the seats. And you and I have talked about this. It is an awful look when you have your championship game and the stadium looks fucking bare. It is an awful look. And this, I feel they have fumbled so fucking much. And I know I'm repeating myself that this is just them trying to do something, trying to like keep it going. And I feel that at the end of the day, when we look back in a couple years, or maybe even next year, unfortunately, we're going to say
they fumbled hard.
This was the fumble, and this was the beginning of the end.
End of like what, spring football in general?
No, well, I mean, there'll always be the CFL, but
well, no, I'm saying like, so the CFL is its own thing. The end of like modern day United States spring football.
Correct.
At least for like another, it always seems to like it's here, and then if it fails, it'll be gone for at least a decade. Because what the last one before the AAF was what? NFL Europe?
There needs to be a serious fucking tie to the NFL. Honestly,
I don't feel that is like 100% necessary.
I think there needs to be a tie to the NFL for it to work.
I just feel like that just creates a minor league, and then no one's like interested.
Love the coverage, but fuck the CFL didn't merge into this mess. LOL.
Oh, the CFL was never. The CFL does its own thing. The CFL has its own problems, by the way. There are problems in the CFL, but nothing compared to this. The stability and like the way it weathers storms.
Justin Paul chimes in. Keep the teams where they are and use this to scare the cities into attendance, but the league has to do the part with the marketing and promotions.
That would be funny if they like
at Justin Paul. I don't think that'll work. I think this just made everything worse. I love the cities they are moving to, but this is poor management.
So
yeah.
Two things. I did hear the thing. It's like, oh, they're using this to like scare the cities into like coming out. I don't think that would work.
Who fucking cares? Like literally, like who fucking cares? At the end of the day, if you have a family of 4 and it's going to cost you, Jesus Christ.
Just average ticket price for like games was like $40-$50.
Say $50, family of 4. You're already
right there.
$100. Parking, let's go low $25. Food $100.
You're spending like $400.
$400. Why the flying fuck would you do that? Literally, why would you do that? I'm sure if I like put my head to it, I could come up with a whole marketing plan, but it is just done so extremely half-assed. And now they're fucking, I know I'm repeating myself, but now they're trying to fucking put some band-aids on shit.
So my question for you, Eric, if we're just looking into the newer markets, out of Boise, Columbus, Florida, we'll just say Orlando and Louisville, I want to ask you a question. So in Boise, I guess they would play in Boise Stadium. That's like the only location, right?
Only location, but again, the blue field. They didn't want to play at EMU because of the gray field.
Columbus, are they playing? Where are they playing? Does Columbus have a soccer team?
They'll play where the Columbus Crew play.
There you go. Orlando.
Jesus, dude. Whatever stadium the XFL team played in Orlando.
They played at UCF Stadium. They played at the Bounce House.
Probably at the Bounce House then.
And then Louisville.
Oh my God, where they play where the fucking where the university plays?
I can't think of another venue.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Does Louisville have a soccer team?
I don't think so.
I don't think they do. I'm trying to think of any other venue. Like, it's tough. Oh, they got the Gator Bowl in Orlando. Yeah, I don't know
where the Gator Bowl is. Where the Gator Bowl is, that's what Justin's chiming in on.
Other questions for you, Eric. Are we done talking about the relocation the team's going by?
We're done, dude. Okay. We're done. Fuck
there are there's two other UFL news things going on. Rebranding the Arlington Renegades to potentially the Texas Renegades.
Okay.
If it were me, I'd just go back to Dallas. If I'm being 100% honest, just go back to the Dallas Renegades. I don't care. I don't know. I would either go Arlington or Dallas. And then Shaman Harris is back. He's going to be back for DC next year as head coach.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good
That's a good news. That's positive. What are your thoughts going forward for the UFL?
Going to be an interesting offseason. I'm looking at right now, Lynn Family Stadium. It's where a soccer team plays. That's where they play. They're in Band-Aid mode right now.
So my thoughts is, I don't understand how you don't go into owning a football league or managing a football league and not, especially 1 to 2 to 3 years in, not expected to be losing money.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be in panic mode right now. You should be expected to lose money.
Especially with the effort that you're putting into it.
Oh, yeah, when they're putting zero, like they tried nothing and they're all out of ideas.
It's kind of like you're just expecting people to come in. You know what I mean? You're just expecting people to show up. It probably would have flamed out last year in 24. I kind of wish that we would have gotten one more year of like the XFL and USFL happening at the same time. That would have been fun. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but when this happened, I hated the idea.
What were you wanting just both leagues to still operate independently?
That's what I wanted.
And then just one of them ends up surviving?
Yeah. No, I thought with how it went, because one of them started right after.
Yep, that's true. One of them started right after. The other
wasn't really that big of an overlap. And
there was only like a 2 to 3 week overlap because the XFL started directly after the Super Bowl, and then the USFL will go all the way till the 4th of July weekend.
It's just,
it was nice.
You may not know this about me, Jim, but I'm a heavily detailed person. I plan shit out. Like right now, for my job, I have stuff already planned out until summer of next year with how stuff is going to be in my job. And I just feel with the little thing I do, and I try to keep private what I do. I don't like people knowing what I do. If my small ass can do that by myself, why can't these other people?
That's a good question.
You just got to put in fucking effort and fuck the Phillies fan that reached over that's gonna fucking cost me a home run in this fucking game, I bet. Fudge chimes in, they've invested next to zero effort into marketing. Yeah. Zero.
100%.
Zero. Absolutely zero. I don't know. Home run, thank God. All right, so I'm ready to move on. Let's talk some CFL.
Let's talk some CFL. Week 8 picks. Week 7's in the books. I'm surprised as anybody that Saskatchewan didn't lose last week. That's like a perfect spot for the Rough Riders to lose. Good win for them.
Full transparency, I don't think I've bet the CFL since week 1.
Eric, full transparency, I don't think you've watched one CFL game this season.
No comment.
There we go. Thursday night, baby. Tomorrow night, Montreal versus Calgary. The Stamps are 7-point favorites here, plus 240 on the money line for the Alouettes. Over-under is 49.5. Davis Alexander is gone. He is hurt for Montreal. I suspect he will not play. They do not really have a serviceable backup. So the 7 feels right.
I do feel
like
part of me, I feel 49.5 is a little – that number's dipped down a little bit low, so I wouldn't really get involved in that. What I look to do is kind of like the first half under, just because when we do have a new quarterback in there, it's going to be a very vanilla playbook. They'll look at
well, he's been out for a little bit. I think he might not have played with us.
I know, but I'm saying it's still going to be vanilla, though.
Yeah, I maybe play the under here.
I would play the first half under, even though Alouette's defense is decent. They should be able to keep Adams and the gang respectable. I'd not lean. If I were forced to bet, I would do the first half under.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Friday, the Edmonton Elks take on the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, potentially the hottest team in the league, Rough Riders. Rough Riders, biggest spread of the week, -10 for Saskatchewan, plus 390 on the money line for the Elks, over under 54.5. And Trey Ford has not been living up to expectations.
Why do you feel that?
He's had trouble throwing the ball.
Okay, so what does that mean? If you can't throw the ball in the CFL, it's really hard to win. But this is a huge-ass number.
Also, Eric, a comment on your first game. It's not really someone that they need to keep it vanilla with. It is McLeod Bethel-Thompson as the backup in Montreal.
Oh, my bad.
He's just been like kind of since going back to the CFL from the USFL. He's been kind of.
I totally forgot about that fucker.
Dude, I might take the fucking this. That is nuts. I'm taking the Elks plus 10.
I can't.
I'm gonna do it.
There's only looking at these lines. There's only one line that kind of sticks out to me.
I'm taking the Elks plus 10. You know what the Elks should do?
What's that?
They should look into a backup situation.
I agree with that 100%.
You know who their backup quarterback is?
No, I do not.
My boy, my favorite boy in the league, Cody fucking Fajardo, dude.
Cody
He found himself in Edmonton, which pisses me off because he was good in Montreal.
Yeah.
He should be. I don't know. He's only got a couple years left. Damn it, he should be. Maybe that's the Edmonton thing. When Taylor Cornelius was like the starter, Trey Ford would come in and he looked fantastic. Maybe the backup in Edmonton is like the way to go.
No, let me ask you this. You said the quarterback for the Bombers is out, right?
He did not participate in practice as of today, Wednesday. So Zach Collaros maybe not playing this week.
What about Arbuckle?
I mean, it's Arbuckle.
I mean, I feel 5.5 is too much here.
So yeah, Winnipeg is -5.5 on the road versus Toronto, plus 190 on the money line for the Argos.
I feel 5.5. I just feel that's a little bit too much. Now
You
look,
just sprinkle that money line because I would.
I mean, you got Winnipeg. No, but this could be a bounce back spot. Winnipeg's coming off a 21-point loss.
I'm actually going to take the -5.5 team. Toronto sucks right now. Sucks.
I mean, if I had to bet it, I'd bet the 5.5.
I'm taking the -5.5. Would you take the plus?
I would take the +5.5.
I'm taking the minus because Toronto sucks.
Sucks.
Last game of the week, Hamilton versus BC. Actually, probably the most thrilling game of the week. These teams are both looking pretty deep. Hamilton's looking really good right now.
Yep.
BC is -3 here at home. Hamilton +130 on the money line, over under 55.5. This is a game to watch, people.
I'll be honest.
Bo Levi Mitchell is on like another record-breaking pace, and Kenny Lawler for the Ticats has been absolutely pure sex appeal as a receiver.
I'll be honest. This is the game I love. I love the Hamilton here. I absolutely love it.
I kind of do too. I like the over as well. Maybe I'll live stream this one. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Let me know if you do. Let me know if you do.
I need to bring the CFL streams back. It'll be a blast. Eric, we talked a lot of UFL. We talked a lot of CFL. We can always be thankful that the CFL is not going anywhere.
Yeah, the CFL is like the crazy ex-girlfriend. She's not going anywhere.
It's always reliable. It's always fun. Thank God for that. Eric, thank you for being on. Thank you for breaking down this chaotic UFL news with me. Hopefully we get some more information in the coming days, weeks. Like you said, interesting offseason. It'll be a very interesting offseason. It sucks to me that like every single bit of big UFL news this year has been negative.
And do they go in panic mode now and try to save face? Like, I just want to see how the chess pieces are going to fall. The thing that really pisses me off is I really wish Mike Mitchell, who has been great this year with the putting up figures, would just put out the average attendance figures per stadium.
There's probably a way to, you know what, Eric?
I was playing around with it. Where was
it? Eric, this time next week for Spring Fever, I will get you those numbers.
I was playing around with it. Where the fuck?
I will get you those numbers by next week.
This is what I have per Wikipedia. Okay.
I will get you the Gymopedia version.
Per Wikipedia, St. Louis average. I'm going to round it up to the nearest thousand. 34,000. DC 14,000. Brahmas 14,000. Panthers 8,000. Roughnecks 7,000. Showboats 7,000. Arlington 10,000. Birmingham 10,000.
There's no way that San Antonio.
Those numbers seem extremely skewed to me.
There's no way San Antonio was that high.
So.
And what were the other ones? What was Houston's?
7.
That seems high.
Yeah.
There were some games in Houston where I can guarantee you there was like maybe 200 people there.
It was brutal, dude. At the end of the day, it was just a fucking embarrassment, man.
It was bad. It was real bad. Dude, Ben DiNucci's been talking. He wasn't even excited to watch.
Yeah.
You see Johnny Manziel said he won't play in the UFL? He's trying to make an NFL comeback?
I think he just needs to start drinking more.
I think he needs to start drinking more, too.
Do a little shitty work
Won't
in that pocket.
play in the UFL, but did play in both the CFL and Fan Control Football League.
Johnny Manziel played in the CFL?
He tried for like a year or two and then flamed out. He wasn't very good. Okay. He's no Chad Kelly.
No Chad Kelly.
Grey Cup champion, that's all I'll say.
No Chad Kelly.
All right. Follow that man at eTalk21 Sports. Follow me at XFL Gym. I got a lot coming in. We got some college football previews. They're in the oven. They're cooking. They're going to come out soon. Thank you all. Mwah, kisses. Bye-bye. See you next time for another spring